Hello there! Today we're making a couple of crafts that are going to point the way or show the way, because we're talking about John 14, where Jesus is describing to his disciples how if they have seen him, they have seen the Father, and he is the way to the Father. He is the way, the truth, and the life. This is the way isn't just for Mandalorian folks. At any rate, we are going to make a couple of crafts in celebration of that. So the first one we're going to make is a bit of a sign. We're going to make a sign post, and we're going to put some pointing arrows on it to show that Jesus is the way to eternal life, salvation, to the Father. He is the way. So we're going to start with a paper towel tube. You could use also a series of popsicle sticks, I suppose, or a toilet paper tube. That might be a little too short. You have some options, but I think this might be their best bet. And we're going to cut some arrows, and then we're going to attach them to the tube, kind of like one of those signs that says, this way to Timbuktu, this way to the Netherlands, or, something like that. At any rate, we're going to be making kind of some various sizes of our arrows. So I'm going to start off by cutting a nice long strip. And you can also, of course, trace out your arrows first, or you can just take your chances at kind of freehanding how you want them to go. And if you don't care if they're perfect, then freehand works just fine, because sometimes the imperfections make it look a little more authentic as one of those goofy signs, Maybe you know. If you've ever seen them or even have a clue what I'm talking about. So we're going to make a couple of... Oops, that didn't work as planned. There we go. A couple of pointing arrows here. And then we're going to add, of course, some fun words to these. Some verses, captions. We'll just do a couple of long ones here, and then I'll make one of them a bit shorter. And all right, so now I've got my arrows cut. I'm going to add my words. So we're going to have them kind of facing different directions, because that's part of the idea. And we'll add things like, so actually, we're going to add what Jesus is the way to. Jesus is the way to the Father. He is the way to salvation. He is the way to eternal life. He is the way to peace. And of course, you're more than welcome to do other things as well. And then on my tube here, I can either add another little caption. I could do another little strip of paper down here, or I could just write directly on the tube. Jesus. Second thought, I am going to make another strip here. Apologies there. So we're going to caption this. Jesus is the way. And we'll quote John 14. Now we're going to attach all of these fun things. So I'm going to use tape just because then I don't have to worry about glue drying. You could, of course, use glue. If you have a really long stapler, maybe you could use staples as well. That could work. But put this right here. And then I'm going to attach all of my fun signs. Now, of course, they're all pointing to Jesus, but just for the sake of our fun little appearance of what we want this to look like, we're going to put them sort of zigzag. So we'll kind of point them this way, we'll point them that way, all over the place for fun. And then if you have time and you have materials, you can add a few more fun decorations to your tube. You can add some extra colors. You can throw on some stickers because we always like some stickers. And do whatever works for you, whatever you've got, whatever you can use, whatever you want to use. We'll throw that on there. And then what you can use this for is, well, really whatever you like. It can just be a fun craft. It can be a decoration. It could even be like a centerpiece if you really want to get fancy with it. Or you can attach a hanger and hang it up somewhere. It's just our fun little signpost here. Jesus is the way, the truth, the life, the way to all things. So there's our fun sign post pointing the way to Christ. Now, our other sign that we're going to make is going to be a stoplight. And we're going to start with a black piece of paper. I'm going to kind of cut it out so that it sort of resembles a stoplight. Now, you can be fancy with this, and you can make your lights as they are pop out in a sense, or you can just be very basic. For the sake of timing purposes, we're just going to do the basic version, but you go to town and get as creative as you like. That is always more than welcome. So we're going to I've cut out my black paper. Now I'm going to add my circles. So I'm going to kind of estimate about how big I want my circles to be, about this big-ish. So I'm going to use this to trace, and then I will cut out my papers and actually trace a little bit bigger than I want, because then I can cut around this marking. And now these will get written on and attached to my stoplight. I'm also going to make a little caption, which I'll do at the top of the stoplight. There we go. Signal light, I suppose, whatever you want to call this. And up here, I'll throw on here we go. Jesus is, and on here I'll add, do I have that correct? Is the red on top of the stoplight? This is one of those questions that, like, you never really think about it until you're thinking about it, and then suddenly you can't remember which one goes on top. So we're going to say that, let's see, I'm pretty sure the red goes on top. Yeah, we're going to say the red goes on top because, you know, it's most prominent. You have to know. Red goes on top. Trivia question answered. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And of course, again, this is the very basic version. Please feel free to get a lot more creative and fun with that. And now we're going to glue these guys on. And we're going to add ourselves a string so we can hang this up. It could be a door hanger. It could just be a magnet if you want to throw a magnet on there. It's on the back of the fridge, front of the fridge, whatever. It's on your doorstep, wherever you want to put it, to remember that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. So I'm going to just pop a hole punch right in there. Throw some string through it. And we have ourselves a lovely hanging stoplight to perhaps memorize this verse and to remember the importance that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. So again, make this real extra fun and creative and awesome. This is the basic version. Same with this. This could be a basic version. Get creative. This is just to spark your ideas and help you along as you discover wonderful crafts that will use your resources, your time, your energies, and be able to explain the story better, remember the story better, and contemplate the wonderful truths that God gives us in His Word, the Bible. So, have fun with it, roll with it, run with it, rock with it. Go make some crafts, make some disciples, and come back again because we have new videos every week with crafts and message ideas to bless you in your ministry wherever and with whomever that might be. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you next time.